Hello, hello. Happy Makers Monday. Today we are talking about how to gently check in with you. Last week we talked about how to check in with your business since good like mid-year point. Sort of, it's like September, but it's kind of like the holidays are coming up but aren't quite here yet, so it's a good time to check in. Now, let's check in with you, the human behind this business. A lot of people forget this step, and so Mama Bear Kate here to remind you that you are an asset to your business and you also need checking in on. So let's talk about what that looks like. Are you feeling burnt out? My guess is the answer is probably yes, right? Like we all, left our 9-to-5 jobs to work a gazillion more hours and have it all the pressure be on us, right? This is hard. It is a lot of moving pieces there. You're like, the buck stops here. It's tough. And, if you're feeling burnt out, you're not alone. That is very common. Especially as women, we are, told we have to do it all and be it all. You're the stay-at-home mom, you are the business boss, you are also the perfect housekeeper, blah, 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 blah. Like all this sexist, patriarchal crap. So no, you are a human and you deserve to be cared and nurtured for, if not by the people around you, then at the very least yourself. So if you're feeling burnt out, this would be a great episode to listen to, and also a great moment to take a beat and step back and say, okay, what can I do to make sure that I am taking care of the most important asset of my business, not only for my business, but also for me? Okay, we're doing it for our business, we're doing it for our families, we're doing it for our friends and whatever, but most importantly, we are doing this for ourselves. We are valuable enough to want to do this for ourselves, okay? You are enough. You are enough, okay? I'm just gonna put that out there. So some ways, so are you constantly feeling like you have to do something, right? So if you're feeling burnt out, you're always feeling like you need to be on it, taking care of something. I don't know about you. I have a really hard time just sitting and watching TV. I always have to be sleeving cards and watching TV, or writing Instagram posts and watching TV. It's no, sometimes you can just sit on your butt and relax. So that is okay. That is not only okay, it's encouraged. Okay, this is Mama Bear Kate telling you it's okay. And it's valuable. Your rest time is valuable. And this is not just even just bubble baths and face masks, which are great, but it's also taking time for quiet in your life. And I know it's hard. I know there are so many things that are pulling in various directions. And it is, this is me totally calling the kettle black. This is something that I work on every day, or try to. This does not come naturally to me. I am a type A go-getter, I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of thing. And this has been a 2-year journey that I've been on so far to try to find myself worthy enough to take care of myself. So this is my little reminder to you. I can shout it from the rooftops for you. So, and I know I have people shouting it from the rooftops for me. So here we are. Okay. Are you able to get time and leisure for yourself? Do you have hobbies anymore? I don't know about you, but I turned my hobby, watercolor, into a business. So now it's not oh, I'm going to go do this just for fun. I still enjoy it, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily as relaxing as it once was. I really like to read, but I haven't been reading as much recently. So, here's my mental note. Take time to do things that relax you. So yeah, if you're struggling with feeling burnt out, not getting enough care, leisure and relaxed time, and feeling like you constantly need to be doing something, here are some things that you can do that have helped me to just, take some time for yourself. So boundaries are a really great one. We have instituted some boundaries, as I think probably most of you guys know, like I'm pre-recording this because we're going to be on maternity leave, and we decided we're only shipping out 2 days a week instead of just like before it would be like, we got an order, drop everything and pack it up. Like, we are only shipping out twice a week. I am trying to not check my phone as much when we're around baby and toddler. So I'm saying this before the baby's born, so I know I'm going to be like, I don't know, what do you do when you're nursing if not scroll Instagram? But trying to really soak in those early moments and creating boundaries, not only boundaries with like technology and my business, but also boundaries with other people. Like, I remember with my first child, like everybody was like, oh, hold the baby, I'll hold the baby, I'll hold the baby. And because I was struggling with nursing, I felt like all I was doing was holding the baby when it was like a stressful time for me. And I was like nursing and pumping, and it wasn't like fun. And I never got to hold our daughter in those early days just to hold her. So that's a boundary I'm putting in. If I am holding my child and people are wanting to hold them, like, no, if I want to be there and do it, I'm going to do it. So I know that's not a work related one, but thinking about the things that would really bring you a lot of like treasured moments in your life. Maybe if it's like, you just want to drink that coffee by yourself in the morning. Okay. So what are you going to do to make that happen? Can you talk with your partner or whatever, your housemates, about, hey, this is my morning time. I just really need to drink my coffee. I'm quiet, whatever. Maybe it's, hey, I'm in the bathroom. Please don't come in. If you have toddlers, locking the door, whatever. So set some boundaries that will give you access to the peaceful things that you need that can add a little semblance of relaxation or peacefulness or mindfulness to your day. So another thing is if you don't have these things in your day, add them. So like add routines or things into your day that can help. So I know I don't sit and just feel quiet within my thoughts very often. I am like always listening to a podcast, or even on walks, I'm like talking on the phone or whatever. And I know that it feels better, like that I feel better when I've had like some quiet moments, but I never make the time. I never give myself the opportunity to have those moments. It's like, I just always have to be doing something. And so that is something that I'm trying to do, which is very fun to try to find time for with a newborn. But I'm going to do it because I need those quiet moments and those peaceful moments. And so if that means taking a walk and I don't have my phone playing anything, if it means, saying, okay, Andy, you're taking the babies, I'm just going to go sit in the shed and take a nap in my cozy chair. Well, that's what it means. Or just like sit and paint and be quiet and like not listen to podcasts. So that's something that I'm adding into my routine. I would love to hear what kind of things you might want to add into your routine that could help you. And some people it's exercise, like making sure you're getting it, even just like 15 minutes where you're just like going for a walk, brisk walk. That is not something that I'm focused on right now, but that's okay. Like whatever works for you. Okay. So yeah, thinking about what relaxes you, adding that into your routine. I've talked a lot about breaking up with your to-do list, which I know sounds very scary for our type A friends out there. This does not mean that you just go running wild and are like, I don't have a plan at all. It means like I've talked about it in previous blog posts and stuff like that, and I'll try to remember to link it. But basically, the idea is that every single minute of your day does not need to be scheduled. You can play it a little bit more intuitively. Like if you're having a good day and you're like, I just really want to crack out a bunch of like internet things. Like I will have days where I'm like, I'm in the mood to be on the computer. I'm ready to do this. Like, let's make it happen. Lean into that especially if you're not feeling creative that day. If you're feeling really creative that day and you're like, oh, I just got to paint. I'm just feeling it. The colors, I was dreaming about the colors mixing last night. Do that. And creating some sort of flexibility where you can lean into those feelings. Because if you're trying to force yourself between 7:35 and 8:20 to do this one task, it might not be the best time for your body and brain and mind to be like doing that task. So what I like to do is I like to think of everything that I need to get done that week and put it on like one list, and then I can kind of filter it throughout the week, knowing what I need to do. Like I know I'm a lot more productive on the computer in the beginning of the week, whereas I'm ready to like just paint and kind of let my brain relax toward the end of the week. And you'll find that your body has different readiness for different tasks at different times of the day. I'm a big evening painter because it's like the time when I know that things are going to be quiet. Of course, I'm recording this before we have a newborn, so who knows? But our daughter was a really good sleeper pretty early on, so I knew that once we put her to bed, I would have that uninterrupted time. So that was really great for me. And so breaking up with your to-do list. It doesn't mean you're just going rogue. It means that you are giving yourself permission to think about what feels right for you in that moment. Okay. My last, I don't know, I'm probably going to keep talking, but my big one is like, that has been really helpful for me is thinking about your core values. A lot of times we start these businesses and we're like, okay, we've got all these big ideas, but like go back, take a back step, take a moment to think about what exactly is it that you are trying to do with this business? What is the core value, not only of your business, but of yourself, of your family, of who you are and what you're about? Maybe it's fostering community, okay? Maybe it is creating a life where you can be home with your family. Maybe it is to make boku bucks. Like, what is your value? Like, what is the driving force that is behind all this? And then in these moments of like, what am I doing? Think back to those core values. Write them down, put them up, make a poster, whatever. And Andy and my biggest one for our family and the business is to create a life where we can have time and flexibility as a family. So if we are stressed and working until like midnight and every night in the week, and this is not fulfilling our values. Something has to change. And it's one thing to do it like once or twice in the month or whatever, but that is not a sustainable practice based on the values of our business. Or like thinking about projects that are stressing you out. Are you doing something and it's not really backing up your values? Like when I was teaching, we would always have to make sure that the lesson that we were teaching was according with the learning objective and the standard that we were trying to teach. Okay. So this is kind of the same thing. Like what goal or value of your business is this activity or this project or this whatever you're doing? Which standard or value is this supporting? And if the answer is none of them, maybe it might be time to rethink that project. I mean, ideally we do this before we started our projects, but if you're like me and have no chill and you're like, I just got it started, it's so exciting. It's always good to check in and make sure that it's something that is supporting the backbone, those values, the foundation of your business. So that's been really helpful for us. Again, pot calling the kettle black. We do not do it all the time, but Andy has been very instrumental in being like, hey, let's take a moment and think about this. So if you need to put little notes on your computer and be like, does this align with what I'm about? Do it. Because it can be really like freeing and releasing if you're like, no, it doesn't. So it's like almost like not that you need permission, but it's almost like, oh yeah, This is my business value giving me permission to say no. So that's another good one. Say no. Easier said than done, as always, but I have found that the more I say no, the more comfortable I get at saying no, and the better it feels. Like when there's a project and somebody is like, can you do this? And I'm like, no. It's like, okay. First of all, I'm being true to my business and doing things that align with my business. Second of all, when you say yes to something, you are always saying no to something else. So if I am saying yes to a project that is going to be taking me away from my goal of creating 200 new products this year, or my value of being able to spend time with my family, it's a hard no for me, okay? So being able to say no, yeah, that's a good one. There's a lot of talk. So this is something that I think is really hard because there's a lot of talk in business and like in a lot of the podcasts I listen to, like in a lot of the articles or just content, it's like hustle hard, like, I don't know, sweat till you drop or what, like all these things that are saying, like American society especially, it's like work till you die. Work till you barf. I don't know, like all this stuff. I remember in high school, the crew team would like brag about how they worked out until they puked. And that was like the goal of the practice. And I was like, that is absolutely bonkers. And that is not me. That is not my style. I don't want that. I don't want that for my life. I don't want to be working till I puke. I don't want to be doing something till I puke, okay? Puking's gross. Anyway, but not that literally, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be pushing myself until I am a husk of a human because I'm not going to be the best business owner. I'm not going to be the best mom. I'm not going to be the best wife. I'm not going to be the best, like, human for myself, best friend. Like, that is not my goal here. My goal is to be a whole human and to also do these things that are important to me. So that no pain, no gain thing is not my jam. And if it is not your jam, that's okay. Like your business, you don't have to be aiming for a 6-figure business. You don't have to be aiming to be in 1,000 stores or making, getting 10,000 followers or whatever on Instagram, being viral. Like whatever pace of business that you want is okay and valid. And if this is something that you want to do, but only want to work 20 hours a week or whatever, that's great. You don't have to like push yourself to go full time with your business if it's something that you want to do as a side hustle. And that's okay too. So like, it's really easy to get caught up in that like, go, go, go mentality. But think about like, again, go back to those values. What is it that you are truly wanting from your business? And write it down. It helps to be able to look at that and be like, this is what I'm working toward. And it helps kind of cut the noise because it's so easy to get caught up in that, right? Okay. So another thing that I wanted to just touch on is this concept that my sister brought up to me. It's called busy bragging. So how many times have you met up with a friend for coffee and they're like, oh my God, you would not believe I'm doing this and this and this and this and this and this, and I haven't slept in 3 days and blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Like, and you're like, oh my gosh, good for you. Look at you go, you power lady. And it's like, yeah, but is that really the mentality that we want to be bringing to the table? Like, honestly, I have tried to stop encouraging that in my friends because quite frankly, they're not taking care of themselves. I would like to have a friend as long as possible. I don't want them to just like poop out on me and because they're exhausted. I would prefer that they are like healthy and taking care of themselves. So, I'll be like, I'll try to say things like, and how are you doing? When do you plan to sleep? What is your plan of action to take care of yourself? Because this busy bragging thing, I think, is very revered in our society, but it is not supporting a healthy anything. So well, it's great to get things done. It's great to check things off your to-do list, whatever. Like, I know that feels good, but think about that busy bragging and like, is that really what you're wanting? And some people do. I mean, like, if that's what you want and that's what makes you feel good and you're like, you thrive off of that, great, go for it. Like, but if that doesn't feel true to you, which I think is probably the case for a lot of people, it's just like, I mean, how many times do people come in and say that? Like, oh, I did all these things, I did all these things. And you're like, oh, I just sat on the couch and watched Friends all day yesterday. Like, it makes you feel bad about yourself. Like, instead, maybe think about it like, you know what? I took care of myself the other day and that was what was good for me. So I don't know. Do you guys, are you a busy bragger? Do you have busy bragger friends? How do you deal with that? Yeah, so anyway, if you're going to be your best business owner, best friend, best partner, best mom, whatever, you got to take care of yourself. So this is my gentle reminder to you that went on very long, that you are valuable. Your rest and your health are valuable. What would you say to a friend if you saw them running themselves ragged, like how you run yourself ragged? What would you say to them? And then say that to yourself. Say, take care of yourself. Okay, so this is Mama Bear Kate saying, take care of yourself. You do not need my permission, but I'm giving it to you if that's what you need, to just take a beat. So I hope that you all get some sleep tonight. I hope that you do something that feels good for you. And if you're feeling like that bogged down by that hustle and bustle lifestyle, like, please reach out. Like, I'm an excellent cheerleader as long as you don't require any choreography. I'm a very good verbal cheerleader, so you don't need to feel alone like that. This is something that's really important to me and something I really instill, hopefully, throughout my BizBud community. If this is the kind of energy that you are wanting, I definitely encourage you to sign up for my BizBud newsletter. I have a lot of tips and tricks on how to kind of de-escalate the stress and busyness of work and working smarter, not harder. And I really hope to create some community around that in the new year. So if this sounds like something that would be good for you and your mental health and just your philosophy aligns, I would love it if you would join the newsletter, because that will be the first place I go to share more information about what we're cooking up for 2021. 2022. Anyway, so love you guys. Hang in there. Go get a nice drink of water. Have you hydrated today? Okay? You've got it. I love you. Bye. See you next week.